this is Michelle Marie with Poised by Grace, and today I wanted to do a video to wrap up my one book July since we're already almost in August. That is crazy how this year, is going by so fast. This week has gone by pretty fast, especially when I've been on staycation. But anyways, I wanted to do this video to kind of talk about what I did, what happened in week 4, and also do kind of a recap and conclusion, if you want to call it that, of what my pros were and cons were with doing the one book July, and to encourage all of you to do these 30-day challenges, whether it's be in the journaling community or planning community. I always find that even though they have the pros and cons, they're very helpful. So let's go ahead and get started. As you know, in one book July, I planned and I did journal in this MD Midori notebook. It's called a diary. If you want to get it on jetpens.com or on Amazon, you can. It's MD Midori Diary. It is an A5 size. It comes in graph, blank pages, and also lined pages and dotted pages. So I went ahead and I chose the dotted pages. I would have gotten the graph just to help me bullet journal a little bit better, because that's something that, as I mentioned in my other videos, that I wanted to challenge myself, was to bullet journal in this notebook as part of my one book July project. And I kept it pretty simple. I just kept kind of a die cut just to make it look cute, and then my little Hobonichi little ruler, like a stencil, so I can make my boxes for the week. This was just my introductional page, and of course the theme was 4th of July, so I had this page in here as a little USA Proud American type of poem. I did a quick index depending on, to kind of separate the sections. This notebook does not come numbered like the other bullet journal notebooks, so I went ahead, and since it was a little tedious, I wanted to go ahead and just divide the sections of what I was doing. So throughout, I had my monthly view, which I used the stencil for. I did a prayer request section with the book that I'm studying in the Bible, and of course the verse of the month. I gave myself a vision board, which was very helpful, especially when life happens. And I was thankful for the distractions that I had this month, and it was really a really good month, because even though personally I have a lot going on between the pen show, the awesome Planner Dweeb local event that we had with my local planner community, as well as Shark Week, I had a lot of distractions this month, so I was grateful for that. And then this was kind of my week layout. I themed it out with some kits that I have from some of my favorite Etsy shops. And the first week I used a box system that actually I drew the inspiration from a 1407 insert that I'm going to be using in my B6. I'm going back to my traveler's notebook, and I'll share that with you in a little bit. This is my week 2. I kind of backtracked planning. We were away for the weekend in West Palm Beach to see family, and I didn't have any of my rulers or anything with me, and I wanted to try more space. So what helped me was the washi and some stickers, and it was actually my favorite week of layout, because although I like the boxes, I do like having bigger spaces versus week 1. Week 3, I stuck with the old Midori horizontal planning section, and that was good. It was simple. I like this page, but I really don't like planning horizontally. I'm not a fan of it, especially when I still like to decorate some. Although I like to balance functional and decorating, I really don't care for it. If I were strictly doing functional planning, the horizontal will definitely work. There's no doubt about it. But since I still do decorating and I like using my stickers and making it a little pretty, I find that it's very hard for me to write in. Even me trying to write as small as I can, because I do write kind of big. And then with week 4, what I did is I saw this layout, and I want to say it was on Pinterest or in a YouTube but I saw this where it's horizontal planning almost, but it's with list. And I decided to get creative and get some stickers that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby, and then I have these date stickers from Poogie Bear Cuties with the name, with the date, excuse me, and the name of the date of the week. So I decided to get creative and just keep it simple, and then use the highlighting legend that I had in front of the notebook, which is the key. Let me see. I don't know if I skipped that at the beginning, and I apologize if I did. It's right here, because I typically do color coding, and then I also did highlighting. So I wanted to do the last week highlighting just to see how it went. And I also like this layout because I do like doing lists, but I also like having minimal stuff written all over it because it's kind of distracting. And I like that this week I didn't use a whole lot of stickers, so this week was pretty good. So week 2 and week 4 were my favorite regarding the layouts. And the last, well, second to last area that I did in my commonplace, in my One Book July, was my commonplace corner. And this is where I really felt like I really was able to take my time and creating and just having fun with. From journaling to memory keeping to doing McBee's July challenge, I had so much fun in July. I plan on finishing July with the last 2 days. Coming up this week, or 3 days I should say, I'm gonna finish my commonplace corner. And this is something that I have longed for a while. Also with planning, is I used to keep a diary when I was younger. Every day I would write in it. As I got older, I got out of it. So what I wanted to go ahead and start doing is journaling, but I like also writing my devotionals. I like scripture writing. I also like to draw sometimes. I like to also use mixed media. So it was kind of like, what am I going to do? But I also wanted to find some way of maybe using a different planner for memory keeping. And then our local planner community, Tabby, she's the administrator of our group, she decided to do a commonplace workshop. I had gone on YouTube and seen what a commonplace book was and so forth, and I noticed she kept it. And between learning so much, I did find journaling piece and memory keeping piece, and kind of just peace in the area of journaling, because I am one that I like memory keeping. I've used to do scrapbooks. I used to do crafts in my scrapbooks. I used to love taking pictures, and I think I got that from my mom, because my mom would take pictures from the moment we were born till even present. She loves taking pictures and keeping memories, and I always enjoy going back and reminiscing. So keeping a commonplace corner area was my favorite part of the One Book July challenge. I was able to document every day, and there were days where I was busy. I didn't write, but I drew a little something, or I saved my receipts or cards of that day, or I just wrote down a prayer and a song that came to my mind. But in this one, for example, the challenge was, what is a letter to your younger self? And I couldn't find anything to write about, so I heard the Christian song called Dear Younger Me. And I wrote a verse that I liked, that stuck out to me, and that's a verse that I would have told myself when you were younger, is just to keep going. This is one of my other favorite pages, which was of our local dweeb event. And this is so cool because it's like scrapbooking in your little notebook, and it's just so cool. One of the challenges was to draw a shark. I'm not good at drawing, so this was my entry. And as simple as it is, it could, it was okay. Yet I got simple with this, but I got crafty here, and I love it. And I found peace with it, because it's just, you're not forced to do anything. There are no rules. You do what you want, and it gives you, and you have that freedom. So I'll stop. I know I'm talking too much. But the last thing I did on here was my pen test page, and I really liked it. And that's something that I've gotten from also YouTube and fellow planner community and journaling community, is always use a test page, because I knew I couldn't use, for example, a Sharpie, but I was able to use an Inkjoy pen, which is one of my favorites, because there is slight ghosting, but there it doesn't bleed through. And I also came to realize while doing this challenge is what I like in planning and what I don't like. So this, I guess, will start with the pros and cons, I guess, of One Book July. The pros is you get to try something new that you normally wouldn't try or force yourself to do. For example, I've always wanted to try the A5 size, and I've always wanted to do bullet journaling. So I combined the two, and that was my challenge. I completed the challenge. Well, I got 2 more days, 3 more days actually, till Wednesday to complete it, which I plan on doing. You have something to look forward to doing. Like, you get up every morning, you challenge yourself. It was challenging because it didn't keep me complacent in my planning or in my journaling. I actually looked forward to opening this up every day. Another pro is that it was lightweight. I was able to put it into, let me show you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, I shook it. These were the highlighters I used. By the way, these are great. These are the Zebrite highlighters, and I used them in my Bible, so they're really good and they don't bleed. I put this in here. This is a B6 cover. Put my highlighters in there, put my notebook, my stickies in there, and it's super lightweight, very lightweight. And I just threw it in my tote and I was good to go, and I can pull it out. It opened flat, and I was able to write or do whatever I needed to do. So that was one of the pros. I found journaling peace with the commonplace corner. I was able to get creative with it and just have the freedom of doing whatever I want, is kind of the whole theme of the pro. The negative about it is I'm not a fan of bullet journaling. Although I love it, I'm not a fan. It takes a lot of work, and I guess for this season in my life, I need something already prepared, and I just get to jot it down. I don't mind doing it for my memory keeping and my journaling, kind of prepping the pages. That I don't mind doing, but the bullet journaling, I guess for right now, I don't think it's for me. I found out also, going back and looking at my pages and everything that I did, including journaling and planning, I'm not a stamper. So I don't like to stamp. I don't use stamps. So I was able to destash my stamps and give them to someone else in the planning community that loves stamping, and she does an amazing job with them. So I was able to do that. I was able to discover the balance of function versus decorating. Too much decorating is a con. And I've even realized I cannot be functional and be too decorative. Yes, you can make stuff look cute and stuff, but at the end of the day, if you have a busy lifestyle, function is key. So these are kind of like the pros and cons. I don't mean to talk and hopefully not bore you guys, but it was an overall challenging month. It was an awesome month, though. I'm thankful for the challenges that I experienced. I will be doing an updated video next week of what I'll be planning in, which will probably most likely be my B6 Traveler's Notebook. And I also found out that I am going to be doing a separate planner because I currently am going to be PRing for 2 different shops. And also life is happening at the house, so I kind of need to have a planner for that. So I have an A5 ring binder that I'm going to be using for home planning. So I'm going to be cutting it down to 2 planners because that's kind of where my life is right now. I definitely do like that everything was in one spot for me and easy to carry. That's like the biggest thing for me that I really enjoyed. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with this video, and I hope you guys have learned a little bit at least, or had something taken away from this video. And if you have any questions, please comment, like, share. Feedback is always appreciated, and it's always well taken. So have a great day. Thank you for watching.